Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. So let's talk about Southern Charm Season 5, Episode 9. We still began where we left off at the table eating. Like, OMG, it went in. Ashley overstepped her bounds. She went in. She was disrespectful. She was rude. She has some type of confidence that is just so wrong, because she's asking to be in the circle of these guys and she's not being humble. She has not taken any humble pie, and she doesn't know that Kathryn is still sleeping with Thomas, and Thomas still likes Kathryn. And for her just to be upset and just to be so nasty because she wasn't invited to a birthday party, and come to find out Ashley has only been around for 2 to 3 months. Who does she think she is that she can come in and just wreck shit? And she has this type of control that she can talk to Kathryn any way that she wants to, any way that she feels to. She just got into a relationship with Thomas. She shouldn't even be around his kids because they only been together for 2 to 3 months. Like, come on, miss me with that crap. I'm like, yo, are you serious? I was like, no, Ashley, you were starting off good. Patricia tried to train you, to try to tell you what to do, how to be acting, how to behave, and how to be ladylike. And it's just like, you're not there. And you don't ever disrespect someone's baby's mother, because you know what that's going to cause? That's going to cause problems in the future where the kids are going to be in between the mother, the father, and the girlfriend. You wait till Kathryn actually gives you a reason Kathryn gives you a reason to disrespect her. Kathryn haven't gave you a reason. She didn't want you invited to the birthday party, which is Thomas' fault as well, because Thomas should have told you that Kathryn feels uncomfortable with you being there. And then Thomas also said later in the episode that, it's too soon for her to overstep. She's overstepping her bounds. She should just relax because she doesn't know the intimate detail between Kathryn and his kids, and she doesn't have the right to enter into that. But he did not tell her that. He's letting her run like a muck and run crazy and talk in disrespect. But so this situation is on Thomas's fault. And also, Ashley having all this information about Kathryn, her situation with the nanny and all this other stuff. Thomas is the only person that can tell her that. So Thomas is actually feeding her negativity and bad information about Kathryn. So therefore, when Ashley sees Kathryn and then now she's being told that she can't go to the birthday party, she feels a certain type of way. She just wants to go to the birthday party because she wants to know what Thomas is doing. She wants to make sure Thomas is not flirting and not all over Kathryn, because she wants to have control over Thomas, and she feels left out. She should just go out and have cocktails with Patricia and let Thomas go to his kid's birthday party, because you have Thomas, you with him. He's giving you $10,000. He gave you a credit card. You living up in a condo, a suite somewhere that he's putting you in, and you don't have to pay any bills. So why mess up what you have over something so minute as a birthday party that you don't even know the kids? You only know them for 2 to 3 months. Don't tell me you in love with Thomas. Don't tell me you in love with Kathryn's kids. You don't even know them. How do you really know Kathryn? And it's so sad that you don't even think that, okay, maybe I'm being manipulated. Maybe Thomas is lying to me. Maybe let me get a feel of Kathryn. I'm a woman entering into their situation, so let me be on my P's and Q's. And every situation is not like this, because sometimes the baby's mothers are horrific and horrible. So, and then we get Victoria. Victoria, this is the hell out of Austin, because she feels like he was cheating, because he was like, hugged up. Well, he wasn't hugged up on Victoria. I mean, up on Chelsea. Chelsea was hugged up on, Austin, and it was because it was cold. And see, this is the crazy thing. Sometimes you think things and you don't understand that, okay, it's not what it seems. The old saying goes, believe nothing of what you hear and a little bit of what you see. So she saw this photo on, Danny's Snapchat or Naomi's Insta story, and then she totally got upset and got mad. And it's so sad because Austin actually talked to Chelsea and broke off the relationship with Chelsea to let her know that there's nothing going on between him and Chelsea, and he has moved on and he's with Victoria. But Austin is not a great guy too as well. He knows this is being filmed. He should have had some type of caution. And also, Chelsea had a sweater tied around her shorts. She should have took that sweater off and put it on her. But Chelsea and Austin are considered themselves as best friends, as besties. So it's a messed up situation. And I'm so glad Naomi didn't act up like she usually does, so that was cool. So let's get to the episode. So Ashley is at the table talking about, you don't know, you guys don't know who Kathryn is. You guys don't know her because they're still at the argument. You don't know who she is. I got so much information on her. And then she's talking about like, oh, when your kids spend the weekend with you, you know, when they come back, they're crying, they're sad, and they can't sleep. And she's also saying that, oh, your former nanny that you fired told us that the kids wake up all night long knocking on her door trying to get into bed, either in the nanny's bed or Kathryn's bed. Basically, she's trying to insinuate that the kids are not happy, they're uncomfortable with Kathryn, and Kathryn's not paying attention to the kids, and the kids don't feel safe. That's so many words that Ashley is saying, and that's so disrespectful because Kathryn is trying her best. And if she has a problem with Kathryn or the information that she found out about Kathryn, to be a 33-year-old woman, you sit next, you talk to Kathryn, say, hey Kathryn, I do have some concerns because this is what people are telling me. What is your side of the story? You know, what's going on? Why is she totally believing this nanny and totally believing Thomas and not getting the side of her story? Because she should know in a relationship there's always negativity going on. People say different things, but she's going, and you know, Danny's telling, you know, Ashley to shut the F up. You know, and so is, you know, what's her name? Naomi's like, be quiet, you shouldn't do this, it's wrong. And even Whitney's trying to get, you know, Thomas aside to bring order to the table. And, you know, Kathryn's trying her best to hold back. And so Kathryn was like, F you. You know, Kathryn was like, why don't you shut the F up? Ashley was like, you better watch yourself around me. You better watch yourself. And so that's when Daniel's like, what are you doing? You're threatening her? They're like, why are you threatening her? And then Thomas is hiding. Thomas doesn't want nothing to do with it because he knows that Ashley's upset about not being invited to the birthday party. But he could have pulled her to the side and explained to her, and she would have understood. But Thomas is making it seem like, you know, Kathryn's the villain. She doesn't really love the kids, and she doesn't want you around either. And then Thomas didn't address the situation. So, you know, Shep and, you know, what's his name, Craig are in the corner like, oh, I don't want to be a part of this. They didn't want nothing to do with it. And they're trying to hide. Even Danny pulls, you know, Thomas to a side and is like, yo, this is so disrespectful. You shouldn't have Ashley talking to your baby mama like this, and it's not her place. So it's not her place to bring up at a table at a gathering on a vacation trip to mention how bad Kathryn is a bad mother. It's like, damn, like, and you know, Ashley being 33 years old, you would think that she would know better, that she would at least have some type of harmony or some motherly instinct or some womanly instinct to say, let me help this girl. You know, she doesn't want to invite me to a party, but let me just show her I'm a good person. Let me show her that, you know what, I don't have to be invited, but have a great birthday party. And you think that her being a hospice nurse and being older, that she'll be more wise and more mature, but Kathryn was actually more wise and more mature in the situation, because she just telling her to shut the F up. You know, she didn't hit her. She didn't jump over the table at her, which, you know, she had every right to if she wanted to. If she had every right to do that to her if she wanted to, but she didn't. So that's kudos to Kathryn. And then Tom is letting that happen and not saying, you know, Ashley, you know, calm down. This is not your place, or bringing Ashley away from the situation, or even before the argument started, because Thomas knew why Ashley was upset. And then you have Ashley's telling, you know, Kathryn that, oh, your son Saint was in a hospital, his tonsils or something being taken out. You didn't even come and visit. How many times did you visit your son? Then Kathryn gets in her confessional. She was like, yo, I couldn't because Thomas kept me away, you stupid effing mother sucker. I'm just like, damn. And so, you know, Ashley just going in. She just like saying that she's not a good mother and she's not a good person, all because of a birthday party. That says, you know, so much about Ashley, that, you know, any rejection, things that don't go her way, that she's going to attack like a child. You know, like an adult don't get invited to a birthday party. Okay, fine then. She sees the kids. She's not even their mother. She's only been around for 2 to 3 months. Like, I would have, But Kathryn can't smack her. Kathryn can't really go off and act up, because Thomas will be running to the court system and getting her in trouble. And then on top of that, Thomas used to be governor of Charleston, and his father has a prestigious reputation, and they have connections. So she has to be on her best behavior, because she's doing all this drug testing and alcohol testing. Then you got Thomas asking her if she wants to drink. Thomas, you are full of crap. So I was just like, whoa. Like, she really, I can understand if Ashley was around for like 2 years or 3 years. Like, you don't get involved in that situation. You play your role. You support Thomas, and you be nice and welcoming to Thomas's children, and you smile at Kathryn, and you keep it moving. But no, she thinks she has the audacity and the nerve to just go in and cuss her out. That's just so wrong. Like, that pissed me off. I ain't gonna even lie. That pissed me off. And then Thomas acting like he don't want to get involved. So Thomas finally gets involved, and he escorts Ashley outside, and Ashley is talking about she's a bad mother, she's not a good mother, she don't really love her kids, and she absolutely can't stand her, she hates her. Just like, whoa, like, where do you go from here now, Ashley? Where do you go from here? Like, with that behavior, like, you burnt a bridge for no reason at all because you didn't get an invite to a birthday party of kids you really don't like. You just want Thomas, and you want to get pregnant by him, and then if you get pregnant by Thomas, you're gonna want him to treat your kids better than he treats Kathryn kids. So don't even go there. I'm just like, yo, she is really crazy. And it was just like, she was psycho. Was she high? Was her and Thomas sniffing? Was her and Thomas doing a bump? What is going on? And so, but Kathryn had the support of everybody at the table. She even had Whitney's support. And Whitney's mother, Patricia, can't stand her. And then you also have, Ashley saying that people warned her about dating Thomas because of Kathryn. And that came from Patricia. That came from Patricia, because Patricia does not like Kathryn, point blank, period. And so, Ashley just really showed her true colors, and it also made her look very insecure, very, very insecure and controlling, very aggressive. It's not a type of person you want around your children. If someone doesn't like you and they can't stand you, you don't want your most precious prize being around this person, because if I was Kathryn, I wouldn't want Ashley around my children, because she'd probably do something mean to them, pinch them, mistreat them, talk to them like crazy, or just make them feel uncomfortable, because she wants to hurt me, so she'll hurt the thing that's close to me, and that's my children. So I wouldn't want Ashley around my children, and that's what Ashley is doing now, where Kathryn is going to have to put her foot down and be like, I don't want Ashley around my children. That's going to cause, conflict between Ashley and Thomas now, where, Ashley is going to be soon packing her bags, and then on top of that, none of the people that Thomas hangs around and wants to be around like Ashley now. So she built a ditch. She built her grave, and she's digging it, and she's gonna jump into it, because now when Thomas wants to hang out with them, he's not gonna want to bring her around, and then she's gonna be filling out her place, and then when she goes with Thomas, it's gonna be an uncomfortable situation, just like it was with Kathryn. So now Ashley's becoming the old Kathryn, when Kathryn was, stung and isolated, and people didn't want, she had like an X on her forehead, and the Charlotte letter on her. So now it seems like Ashley is wearing that, but Whitney is still trying to be cordial towards her. And so I was just like, yo, she really, and like, she talks so much crap. And so then, and everybody's at the table is like, oh my God, I can't believe she did that. Even Chelsea's crying. She was like, I don't have any children, but if someone like that spoke to me like that, then Thomas didn't even defend Kathryn or even tell Ashley to stop, that it's inappropriate. Thomas feels like he's stuck in between a hard rock and a plate, and he feels like he just wanted Ashley to finish her conversation because he didn't want her to get upset. It seemed like Thomas wanted Ashley to go in on Kathryn and talk about that she's a bad mother and have that publicly announced on TV, and that, oh, the nanny said this about you, to make Thomas look like he's a great man. And then Ashley had the nerve to say, a court system chose you to have custody of your child, Thomas, and you are a convicted felon. That's what I'm saying. And like she must be a no good, low down, dirty mother for, the court system to actually pick you, because he has money. He has money, he has clout. You know what that is? Money and clout. He's privileged. He's more privileged than Ashley. He's more privileged than Kathryn. So Ashley, you are way too much, and you know what he does, and you think he's a good father. Well, especially when he had that house that wasn't even built for the kids. And when I used to do my reviews back in the day on this show, I was like, yo, Thomas has a house that the kids can't even play around in. So the next season he got a new house, and he had the kids like sleeping out in the maid's house and shit. I was just like, whatever. And so Ashley, everybody's like, I hope she doesn't come back to the table. That all the ladies are talking that they don't want Ashley to return and really be on the trip. And that's when Chelsea says, it's up to you, Kathryn. If you don't want her here and you feel uncomfortable with her, then she has to go. And so then Thomas and Ashley are talking outside of where, the other people are having, the other cast members are having dinner. And so Thomas like, we need to get something to eat. So they go back, and then so, Naomi and Danny was like, I can't believe she's returned. I told you she was going to return because she's just that bold. And so, but they didn't return to the table. They just went over there to get drinks from the bar. And then Shep goes to talk to her and try to say, like, you catch more bees with honey than you with flies. And for you to put yourself in the midst of the situation is bad. Like, you shouldn't come after her. You shouldn't come after Kathryn like that, because you don't want to cut off a relationship or say something that you can't take back. And plus, you don't know the intimate details of Thomas and Kathryn. You don't know their history. You don't know what they've been through. You only know parts of the story. You don't know everything. And Ashley was like, I don't care. I don't like her. She ain't a good mother. She don't love her kids. And I know all I need to know. So, she's brainwashed, brain dead, and stupid and dumb. And she's going to get a real awakening when she finds out that Thomas has been sleeping with Kathryn. And Kathryn, you should not sleep with Thomas. You should move on and find yourself a new man, because I'm guarantee you there's somebody around your age that would love to be with you and help you get custody of your child. And you don't need to be chasing behind Thomas and dealing with Thomas's bullshit. At this little vacation spot, the camera should have been on you with your kids. But who knows? So moving on from that, Shep is just trying to talk to, Ashley, but Ashley's not hearing it. Ashley was like, I don't regret what I say. I don't regret anything I say. I don't care or whatever. So now they all got to get on the ferry all together. And it's uncomfortable because things are going on. So they all get on the ferry. Ashley is like sitting by herself. Thomas is sitting by herself. And just like it's an isolation and a very uneasy feeling. So, Thomas doesn't like that. That's what Shep said too as well. And so then, Chelsea's talking about, I don't know if Whitney goes over there to Ashley and says, Ashley, I don't know where you're going to be sleeping tonight, because I think it's up to Chelsea to actually make the decision whether you should stay in the house tonight or not. And then Chelsea was like, well, no, it's not my decision. It's up to, Kathryn. I told her to choose. And so Whitney did that just to instigate it, to get it going. And Thomas is drunk. He's dead drunk. He's tore up from the flow up. Ashley, she doesn't seem like she's drunk. She seems like she's on something else. So Ashley tells Thomas, oh, they're talking about I can't sleep in the house tonight. And then Thomas jumped up and was like, what you say, Chelsea? What you say, that she can't sleep in the house tonight? What do you mean she can't sleep in the house tonight? What are you talking about? You don't have that power. You don't have that control. You don't make that decision. You don't have that effing power. Shut the fuck up. I was just like, yo, did you see how mean and angry, how he was pointing his finger at Chelsea? Like, damn. Like, yo, Thomas, you're on national TV. Imagine being alone with Thomas and what Kathryn had to deal with Thomas in that house when he gets angry and he gets mad and he thinks things are not going his way, just like his girlfriend Ashley. And so, Kathryn is just like this. I'm glad everyone gets to see what I used to deal with, because everybody used to shit on Kathryn and said she was a troublemaker because she would yell and she would scream at Thomas, but she would do it in public because she probably didn't do it at home, because look how Thomas behaved. And so then Thomas was just, and so Ashley was saying Kathryn was like, so listen, guys, I'm glad everyone can see his behavior. And then that's when Austin was like, cool down, just relax. And he was like, she doesn't have the effing power. She doesn't have the effing power at all. I was just like, damn. And also from, Chelsea, Ashley telling, Shep that she doesn't love her kids, that she doesn't care for her kids is really messed up, because she doesn't know what's in Kathryn's heart. She doesn't know. She's just upset and she's mad at Kathryn because she can't go to a birthday party, and she feels inferior to Kathryn because Kathryn is younger, prettier, and she got Thomas' prized possession, which is his kids. And she also got his heart too, because Thomas will go back to Kathryn in a heartbeat if she would bow down to him and obey his orders. So moving on from that situation, then Ashley's all smirking, and Danny was like, why you over there smirking? You happy? And Thomas, now at this point, Thomas is like going off. He's like pissed off. You're not going to tell me, none of y'all motherfuckers got the power in here to tell me that she can't sleep in the house. You can't make that damn decision. This is Bravo TV, and Whitney, as one of the producers of the show, you ain't got no power. Don't act like you got no power. And that's exactly what Thomas was going at Chelsea, and Chelsea's just like, okay, I'm sorry, okay, I know, like she's all scared. And this is the time and point where Austin should have stood up and be like, don't you ever swear at her, don't you ever yell at her, that's my friend. Like, so it kind of seems like Chelsea made a good decision not being with Austin, because he's not, but he did say something, but not too much. And so we get back to the house. It's an awkward situation, and so everybody feels uncomfortable, and they really want Ashley to go, but she's with Thomas, and Thomas is that head honcho here. So Thomas is outside talking to Danny and Kathryn, and Danny's was like, well, she needs to apologize, she needs to do something, and Kathryn was like, I don't want her apology, I don't want her around me, I don't want her around my kids, I don't want her anywhere. And Danny was like, well, you don't really have that kind of control. And so Kathryn was like, no, this is going to become a legal situation. Thomas started choking, and that's when he sit next to Kathryn and was like, yeah, she was wrong. She shouldn't have did that. She doesn't have to say so, because she hasn't been around that long enough, and I don't know what the future is going to hold between us two. Like, once I get a hold on what type of relationship me and Ashley are going to have in the future, then maybe she can jump in, but she can't jump in now. But why didn't you say that to Ashley? And it's like Thomas is playing both sides. He's pumping up Ashley, making her angry and upset to get at Kathryn, because he really doesn't, he wants to do it, but he's having Ashley be his attack dog. And it was crazy that Naomi was like, oh, Thomas can be easily manipulated. No, he can't. He knows exactly what he's doing. He wants these two women fighting over him, and he feels glory in having these young women going after him. And then Thomas sees, Ashley talking to Chelsea, and he gets upset. She should go to bed. She did enough trouble, but he didn't say that to her. And so then you have, Chelsea trying to talk to Ashley. And Ashley was like, I don't care. I'm not apologizing. I don't care if I burned the bridge. She's wrong. She's not a good mother, this and that. And Chelsea was like, well, you burnt the bridge, and Kathryn was really here to try to get to know you. And I've been very nice to you, trying to make you comfortable. Ashley's not trying to hear it. She's very incoherent right now. And so hopefully, Kathryn can do something to keep Ashley away from her kids. Like, whoa. And so it was like, yo, she was just going in. Ashley just she overstepped her boundaries, and now she done made everybody uncomfortable around her. Now Shep doesn't want to be bothered with her. Even Austin called, Ashley trash. I was like, wow. And so everyone's going out the next day. Everyone's going out. Everyone's having breakfast. It's kind of weird. Whitney went out already, and everyone's gathered together to have breakfast. Craig made breakfast, Austin assistant, and Ashley and Thomas come downstairs. They feel awkward. All the girls felt awkward with having Ashley around, how disrespectful she was, and she can just parade around. And so everyone breaks off and do what they need to do. Shep and Kathryn and Craig, they go out crabbing, and Chelsea, Danny, and Naomi and Austin, they go fishing, and Whitney stays in the house, and also, what's his name, Thomas stays in the house with Ashley. They paint toenails. Thomas is trying to get Ashley to realize that, she needs to apologize. And Ashley was like, I don't need to apologize. I don't care, this and that. So, excuse me, Craig is telling, Kathryn that, oh, listen, guess what? You and Ashley got something in common. Both of you guys were sleeping with Thomas while any birth control. And they was like, how do you know that? And so then, Craig always got to run the business to Kathryn. That's his girl. And he was like, well, he told us that they're not using birth control. And on top of that, and then, that's when Shep jumps in and was like, yo, he just spent $10,000 on her at a shopping trip and gave her a credit card. And this Kathryn was like, he never gave me nothing but, a bag of luggage and maybe a pocketbook, a purse, and a suitcase, and we know that he brought her boots, but he's really spending money on Ashley. And I was just like, wow. And so now it's just really awkward. You know, Shep was supposed to be catching fish, but they end up buying the fish. The dinner looks excellent, so they all meet up to have dinner in the house. It's awkward. Ashley doesn't have a place to sit. She's trying to get a chair. She's being controlling, and she's also sitting at the table with, you know, Thomas and Shep, and she was like, she's the boss, she's in control. Thomas was like, no, I'm the boss, I'm in control. And so she's just acting like, you know, she's the prima donna, like she's Billy Badass right now. But only thing she doesn't know is she's digging a grave for herself. And then she's going to be isolated. People are not going to invite her to events. And she's really going to be hurt when everybody starts disinviting her to events. And we find out that Cameron, you know, she's still trying to go to labor. And if she doesn't, they're trying to induce her labor again. And if she doesn't deliver by Monday, go into labor by Monday, she's going to have a C-section. And, you know, Ashley did paint, you know, Thomas fake toenails orange, and she's bragging about it to Shep, and she's just acting like she controls Thomas. Like, well, no, he's not unpolished, he's not taking the polish off, I'll repolish him, I'll do whatever I want to do. She just wants to stake her claim because she feels like she has to be combative. She feels like she has to fight, and she doesn't have to. All she has to do is smile and be pretty. And actually, isn't Chelsea like the most prettiest girl on this show? So moving on from that, Craig, what's his name? Austin breaks up with Victoria, and we'll see what happens next week. Peace. I'm out. One love.